In this week's Bright Idea, let's look at using two measures of central tendency, the median and the average, to determine when we achieve the so-called new normal. Remember that these two measures measure the middle of something, the middle of a data set, a little bit differently. The median is the middle value, and the average is sort of a combination of all the values divided by the total number of values. What is this good for? In the beginning of this week's newsletter, we talk about finding the new normal in turbulent economic times. One of the ways to do this is to look at these two measures of central tendency together to see when they're in or out of sync. If they're both in sync, you're pretty much at a new normal. So using our Google Analytics data, let's go ahead and just go into Google Analytics. I can see I've set it for the first quarter here. I'm going to export my data to a good old Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to do this entirely in Excel to keep it nice and simple. And in Excel, we get this sheet. We're going to take our first, let's do a 14-day average. That's a good way to start. So we'll do equals average, and then these, like so. And then we'll do the median of that exact same time frame. We'll title these columns. And then just double click. Now, if we were to visualize these, we see that there are periods of time where the average is out of sync with the median, right? There's something that was going on during this period of time where that pulled it up away from the median, and then things got back in sync. And you can see here, the blue line, the average, actually went below the median, and then it's starting to come back together. If we make just a quick difference, and we do equals average minus median, and we visualize just this here, we see that there are indeed periods of time where, let's change this axis here, that's a little, there we go. You can see there are periods of time where we're sort of up and down on that zero axis. There are periods of time where there are big differences between the average and the median, and then there are periods of time where the average is below the median. We know that a lot of the talk about the current crisis really began here in early March. You can see that the average falls below the median pretty consistently, so we're not at the new normal yet. We'll be back to the new normal when our differencing line just kind of hovers around zero or stays just slightly above or below it. But there are periods of time here where we're definitely below that zero line, indicating that something is out of sync. Our average is out of sync with our median. Now, this is also a very handy indicator because, as you can see in the original Google Analytics data, there are periods of time when things went really well. There's some really successful campaigns happening. And so if we use this simple technique, we can figure out, are things trending upwards? Was this an anomaly, or were we able to sustain that momentum? In this case, we had that momentum for a little while, but then as soon as our metrics moved out of that window, we went right back to normal. So we were not able to sustain that momentum between average and median. Things just kept kind of declining. So use this technique when you're trying to figure out, are we at the new normal? Are we at something that we can say this is a reliable way of determining how things are going? Are these two in sync, or are these two out of sync? And if they're vastly out of sync, then you know something has either happened that's good, or something's happened that is not so good, and you know that you need to start making changes to your marketing sooner rather than later in order to get things back in sync, and then ideally get those outliers back towards the upper side where your average is going up a little bit faster than your median. That's how you know that you're on a path to growth. So Use this technique, try it out. Again, you don't need anything more than a spreadsheet and whatever data you want to use. You can use social media data, web analytics, you name it. Give it a try. Let us know how it works. Hop on over to our Slack group, Analytics for Marketers, at trustinsights.ai/analytics for marketers, and let us know how this works for you. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our newsletter. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.